the WWE Network put out part 2 of ECW Exposed. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Yeah, the second special that they put out about ECW with Paul Heyman and Joey Styles um, answering questions from people on Twitter. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. It's only about 20 minutes, and but it's still worth taking a look because there are some funny moments, a few candid moments, and when I say candid, I mean it's like I think what's unique about this special is the fact that they did throw it together last minute, and it does seem like it's unscripted, which is cool. It seems like they were being themselves, they were having fun, they were being honest with their answers, and just wanted to touch on a few things from this. Um, they started out talking about who was replacing who back in the days of WCW and when they came to WWE, and and Jim Ross gets mentioned in that part of the conversation, and Heyman screams, "Jim Ross! They hate Jim Ross!" And the fact that they put that out there, or aired that, makes you really wonder um, what is WWE's relationship with Jim Ross now that all this stuff about Global Force Wrestling has been announced. Um, has that put a rift in their relationship? It could be. I'm not going to read too much into this, but I thought it was pretty funny when Heyman said that. Another thing they were talking about was did Heyman, looking back on ECW, uh, he looks back on those days fondly, but he doesn't miss running ECW. Uh, what else? Oh, and you just asked the question, do you hate Eric Bischoff? And he said, any grudges that he had with other people outside of ECW died with ECW when the company, was over. And Joey goes on to saying that he didn't hate him. He actually had an invite from Eric Bischoff to come to WCW and go work for them. Heyman quickly pipes up, "I hate him. I hate him." I thought that was also pretty funny. Uh, and Joey Styles says that he respected Eric Bischoff for what he did with the business. Next, they were talking about who was the biggest star of ECW. Um, he mentions the Dudley Boys, and the success they had. Thought thought Taz and RVD would have been uh, bigger stars than they were. Um, I think a lot of fans assume that too, but I think when they did show up to WWE, um, there was only so much that they felt they could do with them. RVD becoming WWE champ, obviously, broke that glass ceiling for a little while, anyways. Um, they also talked about where the brand would have gone, possibly had it gone past 2001. Heyman likes to think that it would have attracted more guys like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Dean Ambrose, and guys like that to become more of like a Ring of Honor type company. I thought that was kind of interesting. Their favorite episode, Joey Styles mentioned the episode that had the Guerrero Malenko Classic on it, which was mentioned briefly in the first part of Exposed. Um, Heyman mentioned a 1 hour WrestlePalooza, which had to do with a lot of comebacks, which seemed like a fairly big episode. We mentioned a few other rivalries. Tommy Dreamer versus, it was the last time Tommy Dreamer faced Raven, I believe, and a few other comebacks. Um, the last thing they touched on was Heyman's legacy 13 years after the company was gone. And he said something to the effect of that it didn't want the company itself to define who he was, and what he did with his children was going to be what defined him as a man. Something else that he touched on in his DVD. So yeah, just they talk about a few other things, but I didn't want to go through every single question that they discussed because some of it just wasn't quite as interesting. But I thought these were a few points that stood out that were entertaining nonetheless. So yeah, that's about it. It's on the network. Go check it out. It's only 20 minutes. It's not that long, but it was nice to see these two get together and rap about the old days. That was fun. So that's it for this one. Just a short one. Just wanted to touch on it. Thanks for watching, guys.